Hey y'all, hope everybody's doing well. It's Theron, TJ. Um, Hope you guys are doing well. I've tried this like 2 or 3 times. I don't know what I'm doing with this phone, but um, I'm I'm gonna persevere. Yeah. Uh, Listen, can we talk? Um, I'm smiling. I'm smiling. The video is probably not such a happy video, but I'm smiling because I'm actually um, trying to stick to my guns and shooting YouTube videos. So I'm proud of myself for that. Um, but the topic, not such a smiley topic. Um, I spoke on a subject last night. I did a video really late last night. It's actually really late here right now, also. Not really late, but it's late. You could probably see the sleep in my eyes. I spoke on a topic last night and was really sad. I really didn't have all the details because I think it had really just uh, um, come out, and I happened to just scroll across it. But I really had to speak on it. I hope you'll go back and watch that video, um, and my other videos, of course. Please, please, um, and like, share, and subscribe if you can. If you feel like you want to stick around for more videos. But listen, um, I got some more information, like I promised you guys, on um, there was a 17-year-old kid who was unalived by his mother yesterday, last night. It really did something to me. It really disturbed me. Like I said, it wasn't the first incident I've heard of or seen pertaining to parents taking their own children's lives, but since I've started this channel, it is the very first one I've spoken on. So we have found out who they were. In the news, it's strange. In the news, they're categorizing this young man, well, this kid. He's a kid, as a man, and he's not a man. He's a kid. He's a 17-year-old, still in high school. He attended Hiram High School in Hiram, Georgia. Hiram, Georgia is in Paulding County, just northwest of Atlanta, a little north, not not directly north, but just a little northwest of Atlanta. He was 17. His name was Khalil Wigfall. I don't really know much about him, but I did put a picture at the very beginning of this video so you guys can see him. Um, like I said, he attended Hiram High School. His mother, uh, who took his life, unfortunately. Um, and just before we go on, I send my sincerest condolences to the families associated with these two people. It is tragic. It is sad. It is. I don't even have the words to really put into how messed up this is. It's very sad. It really turned my stomach last night up, but I got a little more clarity on it. Doesn't make it any better, but I do have more clarity um, on the situation. Khalil's mother was 39 years old. Her name was Daniele McDowell. Um, Danielle was an Army vet, and she did, in fact, like I said last night, it was speculation, but I did get more clarity, like I said today, Danielle did suffer from a mental illness, and that was confirmed by her cousin. Her cousin's name, I wrote a couple notes down so I don't get mixed up, but her cousin's name, wow, um, Tamika Goodman, excuse me. Yeah, so Danielle was an Army vet. Um, Crazy. It's a crazy situation. So originally last night, we talked about how the news was reporting um, Khalil. They were speculating that they were a couple and they had a violent relationship, a domestic violence relationship. I don't know where any of that came from, but none of that was actually true, unless maybe, and I don't want to put it out there like that. Um, I'm not even going to speak it because both of these people are deceased. Um, but Khalil was not her boyfriend. They were not in a violent relationship. Y'all excuse me if y'all see my nose keep twitching. My allergies have been strange the past couple of days. I've been in and out of change in weather, extreme change in weather. It's been all over the place. But Khalil, in fact, was her son. They were not in a relationship. They were not boyfriend and girlfriend. It was mother and son. And that was actually confirmed by the coroner. The news really wasn't sure uh, what the relationship was, but the coroner confirmed that Khalil actually was Danielle's son. Um, and I probably assume the coroner did that, maybe from blood tests, something like that. Yeah. Danielle did lose her life. Upon the police arriving to the scene, Danielle could be seen sitting beside Khalil, holding the knife we presume that she used to unalive her son. She could be seen holding the knife, sitting on the ground outside of their apartment, in the parking lot of their apartment complex. They lived in an apartment complex. Um, and people were witness to Khalil laying in the parking lot naked with Danielle sitting beside him holding the knife. The news report did state that upon the police arriving, Danielle, she really didn't take any heed to the warnings that police gave her. And I presume it was probably because of her mental illness. And I am going to speak a little more on that. I spoke a lot about that last night. It was more than likely probably her mental illness. And unfortunately, they unalived her. They said they tried to tase her, but the taser didn't work. I don't know. I don't even have anything to speak on that because I wasn't there. Just what they said. But they said they tried to tase her, and the taser didn't work, and she continued to advance towards them with the knife, and they unalived her. Guys, people who are in the service, the U.S. Armed Forces, come to find out they have a extremely higher extremely higher chance experiencing mental health issues. Like we stated last night, mental health issues usually rear their head during trying, extremely stressful times in people's lives. And the armed forces, unfortunately, exposes people to very stressful situations and trying situations that probably, like I said last night, college students, they usually experience their mental health break, their mental illness break during college because they're under more stress than they probably ever have been through, and it breaks them. And similar but not the same for people in the armed forces. They're under heavy stress, life or death decisions, split second decisions. They're exposed to so many things that they probably have never thought they would ever be exposed to. And it breaks them. It breaks them. They come back with all sorts of mental health issues, PTSD, depression, anxiety, and probably PTSD. If I had to take a shot in the dark, PTSD would probably be at the top of the list. PTSD and anxiety. Um, um, yeah, and they break. They break. They break. They don't come back home quite right. It's very sad. I read something earlier where they said between 2019 and 2023, a total, guys, listen at this number. This is a this is a this is a crazy number of people. Between 2019 and 2023, a total of 541,672 active service members were diagnosed with at least one mental health disorder. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. I had to double I had to double look at that number just to make sure I wasn't misreading it, because that's a lot of people. Um, that's astonishing. That's astonishing. I would have never imagined that. Um, yeah. So Danielle was an Army vet, and I'm assuming she probably had a mental health break. I don't know, rather in the service, but from her cousin, she was experiencing mental health issues for a while, um, in and out of jail, and seeing doctors. And I guess this was the last straw. She had actually just gotten out of jail. I did say that last night, but it was still speculation. But um, we did confirm she had just gotten out of jail. Um, a lot of people living with mental illness, they frequent jail. They frequent jail. Why? I've come to learn from my own experience. A lot of them frequent jail because this is from my own experience working so closely with mentally ill people in that, in that arena. Um, a lot of them frequent jails because the mental institutions are full. They're full. There's nowhere else to take them. That's why. Um, in the city that I live in, there are two mental health facilities. There was the one that I worked at, and there was one very smaller one at the local hospital. Besides that, no, there was no other mental health facilities within, say, a 20-30 mile radius. You had to probably go to Orlando or Tampa, uh, which was probably about 60 miles, just to get to maybe the next closest mental health facility, which is sad. Um, Mental health is extremely underfunded, and it goes unchecked. And I think we're just pacifying it. We're just passing the ball. It's kind of like musical chairs. We're just playing musical chairs with mental health. It's not taken as seriously as it is, and things like this happen because people really can't truly get the help that they need when they need it at the time that they need it. Um, and it's not on a schedule. It's not on a schedule. Like it's no different than getting sick, appendicitis, anything like that. Like it just happens. It just happens. You you're hurting. You go to the emergency room, try to figure out what's going on. You have appendicitis. Maybe you've been hurt for a couple of days. Mental, a mental health break. It might start a couple of days. You might notice that loved one doing some unusual things that they probably normally don't do. But you just brush it off, like that pain, that appendicitis, like you just kind of brush it off, like, maybe it's gas. And maybe that third day or that seventh day at the end of the week after you've finished working and taking care of everybody else, like I told you guys last night, taking care of everybody else, then you go get yourself seen about, and I got appendicitis is about to burst in a second now. Good thing you came, because if you would have come a day later, it would have burst. It's the same as mental health. Um, Same as mental illness. Um, Start doing some unusual things that you probably don't do, and your family members notice, or they might not notice, but it starts off with small stuff, and it escalates into things like this, because it's unchecked and no one really took it seriously or took the signs seriously. And things like this happen. By the time the person is getting the help that they need, they're usually in a they're usually in a dire situation. Usually a situation where the police had to be called, um, because no one else could really address or control the situation, get control of the situation. So the police had to be called. Um, yeah. So a lot of people with mental illness, they frequent jails, um, not because they're criminals, just because there's nowhere else to go. The local mental health facility is full. It's full. Um, yeah. Really sad situation. My condolences go out to the families involved in this horrific situation that unfolded outside of Atlanta. Um, I have no words. I hope just this little bit of information might help some of y'all to pay closer attention to your relatives. If they're doing something that is unlike them, and it seems um, strange, it it very well could be they might be on the verge of a mental break. Address it. Address it. Don't be scared to address it. Address it. Please, please address it. It might be the difference between life and death sometimes, because they can end up in situations that might cost them their life. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very heavy, heavy stuff. Yeah. But guys, listen, please like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm just plain old TJ trying to enlighten the world on different perspectives. So I hope y'all enjoy some of the information I've been sharing and my thoughts. These are just talks with TJ. Yeah, please like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you guys come back for the next video. If this is the first video, please go back and look at my other videos. I think you'll like them. Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm not gonna draw it out. I'm not gonna draw it out. I'm gonna let you guys go, and I hope y'all have a good night. Like I said, it's late here, so I'm gonna end my night right here. Peace.